Do you know, yesterday afternoon, I was with some boys from the valley, and they told me that they cannot work in Anguilla because they cannot travel to West End to work. They cannot travel to West End to work because if they were to do that, they are likely to get hurt. And because of this, these young men are unemployed, sitting at a tree, on the trees in North Valley. What I'm telling you here, my fellow Anguillans, this is a fact. It is sad. In a 3,500 square mile island with 15,000 people, we cannot travel around this island freely, and we think that our government and the country is doing well. We think that the government and the country is doing well. But with respect to the challenges of our youth in this country, we are having people go through the school system in Anguilla and come out without confidence, without qualifications that would allow them to earn a decent living. And as a result of that, they fall out of the system. The young people in this country don't see a way forward. They don't see a future. They don't see how they would ever own a house. They don't see how they could ever own a car. If you can't see how you can own a house and you can't own a car, you tell me if you make a projection into the future and it looks hopeless, that's when you give up. We have got to give our young people hope. At the moment, the young people of this island, they don't have hope. They have no hope for the future. What we need to do. All I can do tonight, I will give you some thoughts as to how we can address some of these issues. I strongly believe that we got to bring about some reform in our education system so that we can change the society. I believe that we need to have our school day start as early as 7 a.m. in the morning. I believe that between 1:30 and 2 o'clock, we should pick up a program of total development of the human being, which includes sports, culture, arts, yeah, in a very structured way. See these young men in front here? They're nodding. Do you know why they're nodding? They can identify with this. These guys just finished sixth form. Just finished sixth form. You can identify with this. We want our children playing soccer. We want football. We want our children playing cricket. We want our children playing music. Yeah, we want them, the children who are slow, let them do their homework. Yeah, we need to engage the youth of this country at least until 5:30 to 6 p.m. in the afternoon. If we do that, my friends, we are going to have real reform in this country. I also believe that during that program, they'll be part of a cadet corps type program with this drill. And they can do things like taekwondo. And when they get home in the afternoon or in the evening at 6 o'clock, they spend that time with their parents socializing. You will be amazed in this country at a number of children who go home to empty houses at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. You will be amazed. When I was going to university, I once made an address, a speech. I made a speech, and I spoke about perpetual poverty in the black community in America. Yeah? And that is where you grew up poor, and as a consequence of you growing up poor, your children grow up poor, and their children grow up poor, while, of course, white America, Asian America is taking care of its youth. We are falling in the very same trap in this country that black America has fallen into. Our children are not progressing. Our children are resorting to violence, and we are standing back and allowing it to happen. We ought to be ashamed of ourselves. We have an opportunity to reform the youth of this country. We have an opportunity to reform this society where we got to stand up and make it happen. We got to sacrifice as a nation. We have got to sacrifice as a nation. What I'm suggesting to you here, the Japanese did this after World War II. The United States wrote the Japanese Constitution after World War II. Japan said, we might be oppressed by the US, but we are transforming our society. In the 1980s, Japan was the most powerful country in the world. Most powerful economically. Most powerful country in the world economically. Japan. Because they transformed their society. We have got to transform our society. I'll say to you again, I am not here on the platform to say anything negative about the government. Neil Rogers, I knew him as a young man growing up in the neighborhood. I knew his father was my friend, his father was my father's friend. I'm not going to engage in negative politics. What I am going to engage in is try to get you to resolve with me that together we're going to move this country forward. Together we have got to move this country forward. Our society is falling apart on many fronts. Many fronts. I can take care of my children, and I believe I have done so. But taking care of my children is not enough. Taking care of my children is not enough. My son is in law school. He's not even 20 years old yet. My daughter is going to medical school. We are trying to help our children, but just like we're trying to help our children, we are trying to help you and the children of this country, because they're all children. My quality of life is impacted by the quality of life that you live, that your children live. And I'll tell you right now, the politics in Angola has got to change. The politics in this country has got to change. It's got to change now, because if we don't do it, this island is going to be lost. You can vote for who you want to vote for, but I'll tell you, at the end of the day, if we don't stand united as a people and bring about the change to move this country forward, it's going to be lost. A lot of Angolans are packing up their bags and they're going to England to live. A lot of Angolans are packing their bags and they're going to the States to live. Guys, this is home. This is home. I was sitting in the comfort of my office for years. I worked for Kevin Wallace for almost 17 years. 17 years. The job that I am now getting out of. I was in charge of Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and Dominica. I had the managers of all of those islands working for me. They were working for me. Just like you have Mark Romney here, I had people like Mark working for me. I heard somebody say that all I was in charge of was fleet. Let me give you some more information to chew on. I took over the operation in Grenada in October of last year. For the 6 months that I was there, it was the best performing region in the whole of Cape and West in the Caribbean. That's a fact. The only group of islands that actually achieved the financial target for the year was a group that I was running. That's a fact. That's a fact. Gospel fact can be proven. It's a fact. Yeah? So there are people out there who try to discredit me, but you know what? I move on. They try to discredit me in many other ways and talk about my relationship with my brothers and sisters. Let me tell you something. We are solid as a rock. Solid as a rock, as a family. There's so much love and passion. I have 13 brothers and sisters, so it's 14 of us. Those of you who don't know that, my brother Douglas, he's convinced that we shall be kings. Yeah? And he gives me that confidence all the time. Douglas, yeah? Douglas is one of my brothers. I also have a brother that's about 60-something years old. He lives in the US Virgin Islands. And I have about 40 or 50 nieces and nephews. Yeah? 40 or 50 nieces and nephews. So it's an army that we have. But tonight is not about, I'm not here to talk to you about my family. I'm here to talk to you about the future of our country. It's a serious, sobering thing. And I know a lot of you are coming around here, you want to know what I'm about. You know? And you think that it's about winning an election. It's bigger than winning an election, guys. It's about your future. It's about your children's future. It's about your grandchildren and your grandchildren's children. That's what it's about. So you can support whoever you want in this upcoming election, but I'm saying to you, real reform has got to happen and happen now. Real reform has got to happen and happen now. So I'm suggesting that we give some serious thought to changing our school day and incorporate a more comprehensive, this is what comprehensive education is about, all-inclusive. All-inclusive. So there's a total development of the person. I watched the American society fall apart. I watched it fall apart in Southern California. Watched it fall apart. And in those early days, if we had placed focus and emphasis where we should have placed focus and emphasis, the challenges that we have to deal with our youth weren't supposed to happen.